Alright, everyone is ready. We are starting the countdown. Starting race in 10 seconds. Three, two, one, go. So there is going to be a delay, as always, from what you see on the stream and what they're seeing. So we actually use the Discord timings. They're going to be typing .done, and that is going to determine who the winner is. So Skunky48 right away just sliding through, taking a lot of damage, but ignoring it, which can work out in his favor as long as he's able to, as long as he is able to make it to the snail boss. St. Tommy Boy, unfortunately missing a jump. Why Do You Look also missing a jump. Now this is a huge decision for both of them. If that is a rare death, and it's the only death they normally experience, then they're fine, they just keep going forward. But if they're used to dying, say, 2 times in this stage, and they've only got 3 lives, they might need to kill themselves again or reset. Why Do You Look going with the reset, which is probably the smarter move. Because remember, it feels really bad to start off a race with that kind of disadvantage, but there have been multiple times where someone has been way ahead because other racers died in the beginning, and then they die at a worse section. So Johnny Link, Mr. PUBG, BMAC Attack, Skunky, and Perktown all fighting the snail. Looks like several runners are getting to the second snail.
There we go.
Perktown, unfortunately, getting hit by a bomb. The water pushes you the direction it's flowing. Fortunately, there is a checkpoint right before that boss. It was very important to not be standing near the edge when you get hit. You generally want to be standing in the waterfall, but the waterfall gets rid of your jump, so you have to be wiggling in and out. Perktown playing it very cautiously now. And I do have my Streamlabs notifications turned off for the moment. I can still hear them, but I can't see them. But Darth Plague, thank you for the host. Darth Plague is our resident Mega Man player. He is unfortunately not here today. He is helping his grandma move, driving cross country. Johnny Link, unfortunately, dropping the pattern. So he was fighting Toadman, and he had him dead to rights, but he had low health. Toadman's ability does a lot of damage. You have to be ready to shoot him. Once he starts wiggling, you can shoot him, he'll stop wiggling, and you can just sit there and wait. He'll wiggle again, you shoot him, wait. It's not the fastest strategy, but it's safe. Unfortunately, Johnny Link missed a shot, and that was just enough time for Toadman to get his weapon off, taking a life from Johnny Link. But Why Do You Look making it to Toadman along with Skunky48 and BMAC Attack. But Perktown going back to Toadman stage. This definitely puts him back quite a bit. Mega Man is not Perktown's favorite game. Right, we have several runners still in Toadman's stage. Why Do You Look very close to Toadman? That's an uncomfortably close distance. Taking a little slow and safe. One more hit. Okay, Why Do You Look has now taken out Toadman, moving on to Ringman stage.
One down.
So that's very good for Why Do You Look, especially given that he had to reset in the beginning. A very solid start. So Perktown had a game over and had to go back to Toadman stage. Stormcrow also had the same issue. So you might feel lost, you might feel, oh, I got a game over, this is going to be the end for me, but you don't necessarily know that. Stormcrow and Perktown are now racing against each other. It's very possible that we're going to be watching both of them in the end. St. Tommy Boy also still in Toadman stage. I would not count them out yet, though. Players that had a fairly solid Toadman stage still might have lost a life or two. And if you're going into Ringman stage with 1 or 2 lives, it's very, very easy to lose those lives later in the stage. Ringman stage is longer than Toadman stage, so game overing in Toadman stage is much better. Right, St. Tommy Boy making it to Toadman, it looks like. One last jump, there he goes. Pippin Crusader, thank you for the follow. So Perktown having some serious trouble with Toadman stage. The first jump is very difficult. One of the most difficult things in this run. I think Perktown might be getting a little bit discouraged, which is natural. This is a tough stage and a very tough run. Johnny Link getting an E-Tank from the flip top. This is very good for Johnny Link. Having an E-Tank is huge in a race. So Perktown having some trouble, but shaking it off. So there's no shame in forfeiting a race. Several runners have done it so far, but having trouble in a race and then constantly trying again and again and again is a very admirable thing as well. So Skunky, BMAC, Why Do You Look, and Mr. PUBG all in Ringman stage, all fairly close to one another. Skunky using Toadman's ability to hit the ring through its defensive shielding. 3 hits from Toadman takes him out. And Skunky making it to Ringman. Stormcrow just killing Toadman. This gives him a lead on Perktown. St. Tommy Boy is already on Ringman stage. He was able to take out Toadman. So this is an important section for Perktown. If he's able to get past this, he gets a checkpoint. This increases the odds he's going to be able to make it to Toadman. And once he gets to Toadman, he is back in the running. All it takes is 1 game over on Ringman from any other player. And if Perktown has finished Toadman stage, they are on equal footing. This is not the end by any means. BMAC attack, taking out Ringman. Both Skunky48 and BMAC attack practiced Ringman over and over and over again with save states. Probably the most deciding aspect of the race is this Ringman fight. If you can get through it on your first try, so Johnny Link also defeating Ringman, currently off stream. So it looks like we're going to have 3 people entering Diveman stage. Why Do You Look? He had some trouble with Ringman, but if he's able to take a death here and fill up his health and just trade hits with the Mega Buster, then I think he'll be fine. If he has an E-Tank, he's especially fine. So it looks like he's going to use the E-Tank rather than taking a death. So this is a risky strategy, because if he's not able to do it this time, he does not have the E-Tank for the next fight. But it looks like he paid off. Why Do You Look is now moving to Diveman stage. There's going to be 4 runners in Diveman stage. So Perktown still in Toadman stage. But once he gets past this last snail, he's very close to death right now. So he's going to be able to make it to Toadman if he cannot fall on the spikes here. Now these fish are very trolly, but they are predictable. Unfortunate! Bopped his head. That is a troll jump if I've ever seen one. Yep, there are a lot of players today. Mega Man is a fairly popular series, despite how difficult it is. It is not an easy game to race at all. Some people forget that Mega Man is like it was originally considered to be like the Dark Souls style game of the NES. Everyone thought it was incredibly difficult. So many difficult jumps. Perktown, unfortunately, banging his head on the spikes again. That's taking a game over in Toadman stage. That is very rough to recover from the second game over. And he is still trying. Everyone definitely cheer on Perktown. If you have extra bits to throw his way, throw it towards Perktown's stream. That kind of dedication is very rare and should be rewarded. So Skunky48 and BMAC Attack both at Dive Man. This is the end of the run. Skunky48 has a slight lead on BMAC Attack, it looks like. Their health is about equal, but Skunky48 looks like he's going to be able to take it. Skunky8 has now finished. There is a dot done from Skunky48. He's going to be completing the race. BMAC Attack is just seconds behind. Skunky48 just slightly ahead. So this is essentially a tie between Skunky and BMAC Attack. Yeah, what with the stream delay and typing speed, that's pretty close. And BMAC actually moving on to Dustman. So BMAC got second, even if he doesn't type dot done. He's moving on to Dustman, so you're going to see some extra stuff from him. But let's go ahead and transfer over here. We have Johnny Link and Why Do You Look? So Johnny Link just finishing and Why Do You Look finishing right behind him. So all of these racers were very close to each other, just a few seconds between the four, especially Why Do You Look? He ended up getting fourth place. Ended up getting fourth place, but very impressive considering he just finished the race goal right before the race started. It looks like I'm going to be able to change these. Let's switch this up. So we still have Mr. PUBG and Perktown. Let's add them in. And we're going to turn on St. Tommy Boy for the audio in the top left. We have 4 races remaining. So Perktown still in Toadman stage, making the jump. That jump plagued him earlier. Fortunately, sliding backwards into the spikes. That was very unfortunate. That was just straight unlucky. So I have a feeling that Perktown wants to kill Toadman very, very badly. So St. Tommy Boy at Ringman, very low health. I'm not sure what kind of E-tanks he has.
Yep, you're not going to die there. Nothing I can do about it. But I've got 2 extra lives, so I should be okay. I should be okay, that's funny. No, I'm going to die. Repeatedly.
St. Tommy Boy having a little bit of trouble with Ringman. Perktown making it to Toadman, and it looks like he's going to take him out. And you might think Perktown is far and away behind every other runner. But if he's able to take out Toadman, and St. Tommy Boy takes a game over at Ringman, Perktown does have a shot here. But St. Tommy Boy not using the Mega Buster, which is going to give him a significant disadvantage. You always want to use the Mega Buster against the bosses. They can out DPS you otherwise.
Yeah. Alright, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not enjoying it.
The St. Tommy Boy and Perktown now neck and neck in Ringman stage. So when you're having trouble in a stage like Ringman stage, when it has something like Flip Top that can give you an E-tank, the best strategy is almost always going to be to farm. Sit down, take some extra time.
I'm not doing this. I am all done with
It looks like
the Mega Man.
Looks like St. Tommy Boy is going to be bowing out of this one. I don't know if he knows that he is tied with Perktown currently. Stormcrow using Ring on the Whale, which is actually a fairly strong strategy. It deals a lot of damage and it kills him faster than Mega Buster. So it looks like Mr. PUBG has now finished Dive Man. So we got 5th place after BMAC attack.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, Stormcrow has now made it to Dive Man. So this is a rough fight if you're not familiar with it. Dive Man is fairly formulaic,
God, no.
but he is definitely a damage dealer. Hopefully he has a life left. He does not. Dive Man is fairly formulaic,
God, no.
but he is definitely a damage dealer. Hopefully he has a life left. He does not.
Yeah, I completely forgot what I was doing.
So, Perktown still powering through in Ringman stage.
I'm gonna beat this. Yeah, I completely forgot what I was doing.
Perktown. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I could never do this, I could never play in these difficult races, they are not all quite this difficult. This is definitely a harder one, especially for those who aren't familiar with Mega Man. And you're thinking, I could never do this, I could never play in these difficult races. They are not all quite this difficult. This is definitely a harder one. Let's turn this down, because I'm getting an echo of myself. But you absolutely can participate in these races.
Me getting off slight. God,
they are not.
Fucking damn it!
I probably shouldn't have turned on that one. But they are not all this difficult.
Fucking everything doesn't work in this fucking game.
Let's turn that one down. We'll turn on Mr. PUBG. So this is a very difficult goal, but they are not all this difficult. Some of them are very short, some of them are very easy, and they're more about. They're less about playing it safe, and they're more about getting all of the fast things you can. So Perktown, dying to the Hippo missiles. One of the strategies that can work against the Hippo is using Toadman's ability on the Hippo. And this allows you to kill the missiles. So you can use the Toad ability on the missiles, and it will kill the missiles, give you free drops, and kill the Hippo at the same time.
No, that is zip, kind of like that.
The Stormcrow playing very patiently. He wants to get through this section. Unfortunately, didn't let go of down, slid into the spikes. Not having an extra life for Dive Man is huge. That means you can't just power through all of these enemies. You have to get through without taking much damage because you need that health for Dive Man. So he gets to fight the whale again. He's going to be using Ringman's ability. This is a very powerful weapon in this game. It doesn't seem like it, but it kills most enemies in one shot. You don't have to aim it very well since it has a large hitbox and a large area of movement. So Perktown is now moving through Ringman stage. He's made it past the Hippo. He is now to the ring enemy.
Yeah. Okay, now I win.
Alright, Stormcrow making it to Dive Man, Perktown making it to the second Hippo. And St. Tommy Boy playing Kung Fu in the top left. So Stormcrow is using just pellets. This is going to be a much slower boss fight, but he doesn't have to worry about timing his shot to take out all of the homing missiles. Normally the difficulty with using Mega Buster is that you have to make sure that you don't miss a homing missile. The Stormcrow taking a lot of extra damage there. He needs to be very careful not to get hit by another of those dash attacks. One more health. Stormcrow now finishing the goal. Perktown finishing the second Hippo. If he uses his Rush Coil to get up top. So this is where you want to farm for an E-Tank most of the time. You just kind of hang out on the ladder. Did not get an E-Tank, and unfortunately since he grabbed the item, he was not able to...
It's kind of like an iframe, yes, but it's just more like zipping. when you take damage, you zip through like that. There's another place that you can do that too. I don't remember where, but that's the only.
Perktown is now the last remaining racer, making that very scary jump, making it to Ringman very shortly. So this ring mini-boss can be a little threatening, but if you stay back, most of the time you're able to take him out without taking too much damage. Very low health for Perktown. And be very careful at this Ringman fight if you don't have any lives. So hopefully he has an extra life, or he is just mastered Ringman. Doesn't look like he's mastered the Ringman fight entirely yet, but if he has an extra life, he should be able to out DPS him if he focuses on the Mega Buster. So charging up the shot before he goes in. Perktown taking a deep breath. There might be profanity, so cover your ears. So as long as you can dodge one attack, and you just constantly use the Mega Buster and nothing else. The Mega Buster in one hit. Mega Buster in one pellet, I believe, matches his ring damage. So Perktown having some trouble with Ringman, but he's not the only one. No E-tanks, no lives left. Looks like he's going to give this at least one more try, but we always stay until absolutely everyone finishes the race or forfeits. I'll stay up until 2 a.m. If Perktown decides that we are going to watch him forever, we will watch him forever.
That's it. I give up.
So Perktown made a valiant attempt. He is forfeiting the race, but he did very well to keep going on. Having a game over in a race like this can be very stressful and can be very disappointing, especially if it didn't happen in practice. But Perktown made it to Toadman stage, made it up to Ringman. He made it just as far as Tommy Boy.
The game fucking sucks. That's all I gotta say about it. It's not a real fucking game. I'm calling it. I don't care that Darth's good at it. It fucking sucks. Oh, I'll be alright. I just had to let it out.
So that was Perktown on the audio. So this is a very difficult race. Took about 30 minutes, which is really long for a learn fast race. Normally they're about like 10 minutes, sometimes 15. So number one was Johnny Link, and BMAC attack was within a second. Due to the stream delay, we actually don't know which one exactly was faster. It's basically a tie between Johnny Link and BMAC attack. Definitely a hair's breadth away from one another. On stream, we saw Johnny Link, and he did type dot down first. But BMAC attack was unaware that we had removed Dustman, so he was going on for the next segment of the goal. So basically a tie for Johnny Link and BMAC attack. Skunky. I was right, not Johnny Link. Skunky. Johnny Link coming in on third with Why Do You Look right behind Johnny Link. So the top four were very close to each other. I do want to make a special shout out to Why Do You Look. He was struggling quite a bit with Ringman during practice, and he finally made it through, and I think he might have used 2 E-tanks on the time that he beat him in practice. And then he went to Dive Man stage, and he finished it right before we ran out of practice time, and he managed to take 4th, which is a very impressive thing to do. St. Tommy Boy and Perktown, they also did not did not do like all that well in Toadman stage at the start, and Ringman stage definitely going to both through the ringer, no pun intended. But they kept playing until the very end, both of them at least making it to Ringman stage. And Ringman was probably the most difficult segment. If you didn't farm an E-Tank from Flip Top, or you didn't practice that fight with save states, or just figure it out on your first run through, that is definitely going to be a stumbling block. So this is this might be the most difficult race for the vast majority of players, I think. Thinking back on other races, we've had races where everyone has had trouble. We've had races where maybe one person has trouble, but about half the racers had difficulty in this. So very strong performance from several of the racers, and a lot of determination from the others. Stormcrow managed to take out Ringman, and then he had a lot of trouble with Diveman stage, which I don't recall him having that much trouble in practice, but he was able to make it through, take out Diveman, even after having a game over at Diveman stage, and Perkdown and St. Tommy Boy both making it to Ringman before calling it quits after everyone else had finished the race, which is perfectly fine. This happens from time to time, especially with the difficult races. If someone game overs, they don't necessarily want to finish the game, and that's perfectly fine. We do give out raffle tickets to each entrant to a Learn Fast race. All you have to do is just join the race. You can forfeit 10 seconds after, and if you participate in the race at all, then you get a raffle ticket. And we do a giveaway of various prizes. So I think the next one is going to be around June. We'll be doing another raffle. We gave away some stickers, some N64 stocks. We gave away some bead art. I gave away some art commissions. No Diggity won an emote from Man Over Mars. I think BMAC Attack won a free commission from Lauren Wallenfels. Perkdown very disappointed he did not get the socks, but I haven't released what the other prizes will be yet, so maybe he'll find something there of interest. I will be making a Mega Man related announcement in the coming week in the Discord. If you are interested in Mega Man, which I know Perkdown hates Mega Man and probably hates it more now, and is going to be giving Darth an earful about Mega Man probably over the next week. If you're interested in Mega Man Maker has just made an update that added several has added several new tile sets, enemies, and features. And there is going to be a contest for level creation. And after these levels are created, I'm going to be picking winners from this contest. And I'll be using it for a Mega Man specific event. This will not be a Learn Fast race itself, but it will be a Mega Man Maker focused event. So if you are interested in Mega Man, keep an eye on the Discord, especially the Mega Man channel, and you'll be seeing information about that next week. For those of you who are not interested in Mega Man, there is a Learn Fast race that's going to be a little bit bigger, and it's going to be sometime after May 1st. I'm not sure exactly when, but I have a poll currently in the announcements. And so if you join the Discord here, and you are interested in joining, this is going to be slightly different than a normal Learn Fast game. This will be 4 games. There will be a puzzle game, a platformer game, a sports game, and a mystery game. And participants will have 2 hours of practice for these shorter goals. And it sounds like a lot of time to practice, but it's only 30 minutes per game, so not all that much. You're going to have a fourth of the time you would normally have to practice. The goals will be a little bit shorter. But I wanted to do a bigger Learn Fast race with a bit more variety, because one of the difficulties with the Learn Fast race is that several of the players in this race, they're used to Mega Man, they love Mega Man, they grew up playing it, and it was just something they could jump in and play. And others, they don't like Mega Man, they didn't play it growing up, it's incredibly difficult for them. Maybe they're playing on an emulator and they're playing with a delay, while others are playing on NES with the EverDrive, and they're practicing with save states while someone else is just playing on the cart. And there can be a lot of differences in performance and differences in enjoyment. So having a larger learn fast race with multiple game types, where no one person is going to, by default, love every single game or hate every single game, is something I'm very interested in. So hopefully there will be interest in that. And if there is, by all means, fill out the poll to let me know what time you would like, because this one's going to be a little bit earlier, so people in Europe can actually participate. I'm revealing all of the games the day of, but the mystery game is a mystery as far as its subject. So E-tanks in Mega Man, they fill up all of your health. The E stands for energy, and Flip Top in this game can actually give you an energy tank. So just for health, not for sub weapons.